On today's World Insight, missions to keep order and safety in the world's conflict zones, the story of United Nations peacekeepers. Take a peek inside their training camps and hear from the trainers and seasoned peacekeepers themselves how they manage their jobs as the world's frontliners against chaos. All these in this part of our special series, United for the Future, the UN at 80.
Hello and welcome to World Insight with me, Tian Wei. Today, our focus is on UN peacekeeping. UN peacekeeping is helping countries to navigate the difficult path from conflict to peace. While the United Nations is celebrating its 80th anniversary this year, UN peacekeeping missions have been with us for 77 years. The UN peacekeepers are the ones who make peace possible on the ground. Today, I'm so honored to meet some of them on the sideline of a training course for UN peacekeepers being held in China. This is a typical morning routine in this school. Since 2015, China has convened more than 20 international peacekeeping courses across multiple themes, supporting capacity building. Some of them have been held on this tranquil campus in Kunshan. Today, a protection of civilians training. I was invited to meet some of the trainees from all over the world and be part of them for a day.
In testimony number 6, I think...
Peacekeepers all over the world gathered here for this training course. Today's topic, human rights. I hope to join them later in the discussion.
It should be the right to life and safety.
The faculties for the course are also from all over the world, 5 continents to be exact. Senior Colonel Shi Zhengyong is among them, one of the longest-serving trainers. He himself served on various UN missions in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, Liberia during the Ebola crisis, just to name a few. 3 missions, including training courses like this. What have you learned, Mr. Shi?
We, as a peacekeeper, can contribute to world peace. It's a great honor for all of us. We invited not only international instructors, but also international students to participate in the training. We can communicate with each other and exchange the experience of peacekeeping with each other.
Right.
That's wonderful.
United Nations.
Shi's thoughts were shared by many of his fellow trainers. They were all very enthusiastic to share with us about the importance of peacekeeping and how they are working with their trainees for a peaceful world. Colonel, Major, Lieutenant Commander, great to have all of you in our discussion.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me more about your story with peacekeeping missions.
I did my first mission back in 94-95 as a young captain in former Yugoslavia. And the name of the mission was UNPROFOR, United Nations Protection Force. And you know, I was there during the Srebrenica massacre in Bosnia. I was in the Bihać pocket. That was my first mission. Then in 2014-15, I have commanded a Bangladesh mechanized battalion in Ituri, Bunia, Democratic Republic of Congo as a part of MONUSCO. These are the 2 missions I have done. First mission in UNPROFOR, it was, criticized by the UN because we failed to protect the civilians. And we heard about the Srebrenica massacre. So the perspective was different because we are not given that mandate to protect the civilian. But in Congo, when I was a contingent commander, I had the full mandate to protect the civilian, and I could protect the civilians there.
You feel more powerful then?
Yes,
as
as a peacekeeper, I had all the forces, all the authority to protect the civilian and use of force, which I missed in Bosnia.
I see. And what about for you, Major Gabriel?
I was deployed once in 2022, 2023 in Democratic Republic of Congo. And the name of the mission is MONUSCO. I was there as a aide camp to force commander, and I was a captain when I was there. And my mission is to help force commander, the general from Brazil, and with his issues of in the mission, and help to the best decisions and this kind of things. For me, was a very different experience, and I learned a lot because I was young and never be in another country in a mission. So for me, it was a very nice. I learned a lot to see all countries work with another people, to know that everybody in the world or in the mission wants the same thing. So for
Which
me,
is?
peace and a better world.
Lieutenant Commander, tell us more about your peacekeeping missions.
So my experience in UN peacekeeping mission, which was in UNIFIL, Lebanon, and I was there as a JCP and training staff officer. So it was very great to me because from that position, not only I can work together with the other military staff from different countries, also I could share my experience regarding how to implement, how to plan, and got the lesson learned from the exercise, because we provide the exercise for the whole UNIFIL contingents, including military staff. So this is very crucial because before the parties or incident happen, so the military personnel are ready to answer and to respond to the problem in the mission.
What was the most difficult moment in the mission that you just touched on? What have that taught you about what peacekeeping is really?
First of all, usually we go for the peacekeeping operation to keep the peace. But if there is no peace, that is very challenging one. Again, we don't have any enemy in the peacekeeping operation. We call it spoiler, or maybe in other terminology we use. But that was on 15 January 2015. Just I went 3 months back, and within that short time, the local FRPI militia, they came, and they were the threat to the local population. And it was decided to evict them from that area so that the local population are safe. And we had to launch a major operations against them with my troops and everything. And at this, and the morning we started our operation. Then the militia, they attacked our own camp, and we had to fight it back. And I was also personally injured. I got some shot in my eyes and some splinter. And then luckily no other peacekeepers were injured or killed. But a good number of government forces, because we have to work with the government forces as per the mandate, we call it FRDC. A good number of FRDC soldiers and officers were killed and injured. Then also a good number of militias were killed. And that was a very tough moment for me, because when I use the force, I exactly know that somebody is being killed or injured. So I have to be very, very calculative in the peacekeeping environment while using the force.
Well, when people think about peacekeeping, they usually think about, the men and women under the blue helmet. And it seems that they are there in a moment of peace just to make sure it will continue. But certainly it's not always the case, as you just said, sir.
In fact, peacekeeping is supposed to be like that. There is a peace and we go there to keep the peace. But unfortunately, the contemporary peacekeeping operation, if you relate, there is no peace to keep. So that's why we are in a challenge, everyone, all the component, military, police, civilian, to maintain peace there, to keep the peace there.
Right. So I guess you have a very different perceptions about the instability and the uncertainties we're experiencing in our world today.
Absolutely correct. The most thing what I saw in, especially in Congo, like that, the basic need of the human being, their citizen, that are missing. They don't have the food, they don't have the water, healthcare, nothing is there. There is a totally a crisis area where we are deployed. So again, we have to fight or work against the militia to keep the security of that environment. And also at the same time, we have to take care of the local population.
Major Gabriel, I'm sure for you as well, even though you describe it in such a peaceful way to support the first commander, but I'm sure the situation was not smooth to begin with. Tell us what you run into.
We grow up a movement in Congo called Movement Anti-MONUSCO. So it was a difficult period because a lot of crowds of population wants that the MONUSCO left the country. So you are there to protect the civilians, but you don't feel that all the population wants you there. We left the base to go to somewhere with escort. The people throw stones in our car, shootings, armed groups near the city. But we understand because the people has some information, and sometimes they don't have all the information about everything. So we understand they want a better life. You are there for this, but it's difficult. It's a process. It's take time.
What about for you,
Yes, about
Lieutenant
me,
Commander?
when I was in uniform, the toughest moment for me, it happened from both sides, like attack each other using the rocket and artillery. And then while I was working, and also while I was sleeping, we had to came to the bunker, and then until the parties finished. So I think was the toughest moment for me when I was there.
So in a way, you have to witness that crossfire.
Yeah.
Do you have to do anything about it? You have to wait it out.
That's right. Just wait in the bunker, and then if the part is finished, we can continue our activities like
For peacekeeping.
that's right. To maintain peace and security.
So how to protect your own people?
Theoretically, there is a standard operational procedures in every contingent or troop contributing countries. So we follow that procedures. If there is something happen, we follow the SOP, and then, for instance, like what I said, if there is parties from both parties like attack each other, we went to the bunker. That's the SOP to provide a safe to our people.
Over the past few years, we see increasing conflicts all over the world. And as we know, the world is in a transition in which more uncertainties, more instabilities, and more conflicts. So what does that mean for peacekeeping forces?
In fact, the peacekeeping started just after the establishment of United Nations back in 1948. It almost 77 years has passed. And we had a different type of peacekeeping operation. We call it traditional one. It was basically between the state. We call it interstate. Then after the Cold War, the dynamics changed. It became intrastate. And that's why now we have a multidimensional where in all the components we go. Now, seeing the trend, now there is a reform, because another topic in the world is that still we are following the peacekeeping operation, or we are trying to maintain the peace in the world with a doctrine, or with a principle which is almost 80 years old. Now it is a time for a reform, to rethink, revisit the whole, not only the peacekeeping, the whole UN system, how to maintain peace in the world. Because UN was established, the main purpose was, to save the people, from this war and everything.
Yeah. What kind of reform you think is crucial in peacekeeping?
First of all, if you see, everything starts with the Security Council. Unless the Security Council, they agree on a particular situation, all of them, and they provide, when they give the task, mandatory task, accordingly they should also give the resources and the authority. And that is the lacking. Like we are given, just I give you example, like in the peacekeeping operation, one infantry battalion of 850. In a normal doctrine, we can cover a limited area. But in the peacekeeping operation, like when I was deployed in Congo, with a battalion, I had a size of almost of my whole country, Bangladesh, I had to protect. So that kind of, resources and everything,
It's almost impossible.
almost impossible.
I see. The very limited resources for an ever expanding mission.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Over the years, we also see increasing number of peacekeepers coming from the global south. So how do you see the cooperation among the peacekeepers coming from different parts of the world?
Based on my experience when I was in UNIPRO, from the different contingent, different people, which is different countries, but at the time we could as peacekeepers can work together to solve the issue regarding the maintaining peace and security. And it works very well because, sometimes the people has different own cultures and like caveat and whatever, but we can solve that minor challenge.
Mm-hmm.
When we are with another countries in the south, from the south, we have different cultures, and I think we add some capabilities. So we are different, and in each place that we are, we don't resolve the problem with the same thing, with the same way. So you have to adapt it. Your treatment. How do you resolve the problem, or how do you talk with the people? And I think if we have more countries and more different cultures, different persons, and we add capacities. So for me, it's very important this mix of and this a lot of countries present in the mission.
Can you give me an example as to more countries that manage to bring more diversity, but at the same time, answers to to problems?
For example, in Haiti, I know I never been there, but the Brazilian army was there in
Where?
Haiti.
Haiti.
Yes.
Oh, okay, in Haiti.
And for more than 10 years, Brazil was there. And I think we are near country in America. So sometimes the Brazilian has a way to talk and act that is similar with the persons that are there, and we can build confidence, something like this.
I see.
And I think with this is easier to accomplish the mission.
Take advantage of geographical location.
Yeah, it's like an example, but
yeah, and the language
similar
and the culture.
cultures, yeah, language, something.
Colonel?
Yeah, first of all, when the peacekeeping started, basically it was the business of the basically Scandinavian countries. They took the lead, and Canada. That was the traditional, by peacekeeping, it was meant that it is for them, that was that. Then after the end of Cold War, 1992 onward, when the first mission started in Cambodia, large scale, then from the global south, like countries like Bangladesh, we started participating in a bulk with the contingents. But gradually the Europeans were away, from these large missions. Though after a long time they returned in Mali mission, but again they withdraw for various reasons. But basically if you see the total number of peacekeepers, mostly from African, almost 45%, then you get another 35% from Asian, and the rest, you have from other areas. So, like, this is the chance, as you said, the global south, they are basically active on the ground. Yeah. So the challenges was interoperability, like the way the Chinese work, the way maybe Indonesian they work, the Brazilian work, Bangladeshi is a different way. But when you land in the mission area, you now almost even has a standardized system how to operate in a military environment, in a sector headquarter, right. Force headquarter. Indeed. And that is the challenge, adapting with the UN system so that you can operate with any of the contingent. And that is we are doing that thing at this moment.
I can see a lot of camaraderie among the trainers like you guys and also the students. Some of them I talked to, for example, some ladies that coming from East Timor told me they have never been to peacekeeping missions, but they really aspire to be part of the UN peacekeepers one day. And they say they want to learn their language even better than today so that they can fit into the mission. It's very inspiring that peacekeeper and peacekeeping missions has become such a noble cause, especially for the global south to join with their own strengths as well. It's inspiring. Having said that though, you are here to be the trainer, as you already explained, for this special course. What is it like to be the trainer? What do you think is the most important principle that you want to instill in the minds and the actions of those you are teaching?
First of all, peacekeeping operation is totally different from the military conventional operation. Like we call it like a military conventional operation has got a different mindset. You have an enemy and your target is to kill the enemy, eliminate the enemy. But in the peacekeeping operation, we don't have any enemy. That is the changing of the mindset from their traditional military doctrine to a peacekeeping mindset. Yeah. That is the challenging part. Not a single task in the peacekeeping operation can be done by a single agency. That means I have to work jointly with other three components like police, civilian, and military together. Like this protection of the civilian. It is not only the military job. It is the combination of all the three, is the integrated effort. Now here, the training is that I should know what my other components are doing in the peacekeeping operation, and other components also should know what I am doing and what is my task and how we can work jointly in an integrated manner. And that is the challenging part, imparting that kind of right mindset.
Major, I saw you were teaching a class today about human rights, how to protect the human rights of those people in which you are keeping the peace in. So what about that mindset change you try to instill in them? What do you think has been the most important takeaway as a trainer?
I think we have understand and know that when we are deployed in a mission, we will not find or meet peace in that place. So we are there because there is a crisis in that place. So we talked earlier, it's a mission, a peacekeeping mission, but we don't find peace. Mm-hmm. So you will see some difficulties of the population, poverty, conflict, war between people, and is a difficult things to see, and is in a complex environment. So, and you don't have enemies. That's how
you shouldn't have any enemies.
Yeah, exactly. So you have all the time keep your mind why you are there. So I think this is very important for us and for the students there. So why am I am here, and what can I do to this place become better? What's my role here?
Recently, China put forward what China calls the Global Governance Initiative. Earlier, of course, China also put forward some other initiatives such as the Global Security Initiative, Global Development Initiative, and Global Civilization Initiative. How do you see China's contribution, but at the same time, the cooperation that all of you are having with China or with Chinese colleagues for peacekeeping around the world?
This course is already a sign of this. In my mission, I have contact with a company of health of China and a company of engineers of China in Congo. And the work that they do there is very nice. They work isolated in a place in the east of Congo, but it's the better. It's a very beautiful work.
So they provide infrastructure.
Exactly, infrastructure and health.
UN peacekeeping is struggling because number of missions are closed. There are reforms in the United Nations headquarters and the overall the peacekeeping. And at this moment, your Chinese government has come up to conduct 6 peacekeeping related courses. I'll be the part of the 4 courses. And that is a effort, in fact, remarkable effort by the Chinese government to support the peacekeeping because, like the peacekeepers are basically, as I said, from the global south. So we need a very strong cooperation from China with the global south so that we have a very well-trained peacekeepers. Whatever is coming in future in the peacekeeping, no problem, but it should be very well peacekeepers and we should have a very good network to support each other.
If you're a kid back at home or your neighbor's kid came up to you in the courtyard, in your building, or in the playground and ask you, "So, sir, you were on a peace mission. What was it like? What is peace?" What would you say?
A 5-year-old, my son or my daughter actually probably, and she asked him about when I came back from the UN mission, and she asked me, "Dad, what is the peace?" And I would say to her, "Come on, honey, the peace is like what we were right now, like your dad, your mom, and two of you, my daughters, we are living in harmony, so we love each other, and there is no quarreling each other. So this is the peace."
You put tears in my eyes already. Thank you. Major.
I think in a few words, we are trying to build a better world for you.
What is better world?
A world that you can be free and do what you want to do and dream with what you want to dream.
For me, it is, I'll tell them to listen to the song of Michael Jackson, Heal the World. Because in that song, everything is there. And what is the purpose of peace?
Heal the world, make it a better
place. Correct.
For you and
for me.
for me.
Yeah, heal the world.
Heal the world. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for healing the world.